Hey, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to teach you how to teach yourself how to walk a tightrope. Now, first of all, we have to talk about safety. Do not attempt to do what I'm about to do here today. I advise that no one attempts to do any of these stunts that I do here on my channel. This is a very, very dangerous stunt, and it should only be practiced or performed by someone who has had many years of training in tightrope walking or rope walking or wire walking or slacklining, etc., etc. I know it's funny to say that right after I tell you I'm going to teach you how to teach yourself how to walk tightropes, but it's very important that you take these words to heart. Safety is paramount. Safety is number one. Please do not try anything that makes you uncomfortable, makes you feel unsafe, or puts your life or any of your body at risk of injury. With all that being said, there are safe ways to practice rope walking without risking your life or injuring yourself. And that's to start right on the ground, just like this. To start, what you want to do is put your arms out by your sides like this, stand on some flat ground, and raise one of your legs up in the air, just like this. Make sure your body is upright and that your posture is straight, and keep your arms out to your side. If you can stand on one leg without falling over, that's the first step. The second step is to be able to begin to move your hips to the left and the right while keeping your head more or less centered above your foot. You want to keep a straight line of energy from the top of your head to the bottom of your foot, so you can move side to side like this, and you want to use this method to correct yourself to stay on the line. Now the line is going to shake underneath you, and if you attempt to control the line with stiffening up your body, you are going to fall off of the rope. What you have to do is become like jello, become very jelly-like, and just kind of let your body move and let the line move underneath you. You have to surf on the line. You have to let the line do what it wants to do, and you have to adapt to the line. And the more you relax, the more the line will calm down and stop the shaking underneath you. It sounds very counterintuitive, but that's the way it actually works. If you tense up, the line will throw you off. But if you move like water and you relax above the line and let the line do whatever it's got to do underneath you, and you stay level-headed and just at ease and at peace and relaxed above the line, let the line shake underneath you while your head is still, and you will be able to command and control the line. So practice on the ground with one foot. Get used to moving your whole body around like this. This other leg back here is kind of like a tail. You can use it like a tail to keep yourself stabilized. I'll show you from the profile angle. Make sure your body stays upright and straight. Always try to look at the horizon or up. Never look down. That's a true adage for a lot of reasons. If you look down, the rope's going to move underneath you, and it's going to mess with your head and make you think you're going to fall off. But if you look straight ahead or up, your body won't play tricks on you as easily, and you'll be able to walk the wire or walk the rope or walk the slack line a lot easier. Make sure your body's straight. Put your tail out back there, stand on one leg, and do this on the ground once again. And just kind of move around and play around with your range of motion and where your body can move, so you can be prepared to catch yourself in case you're about to fall off the line. You're going to feel silly doing this, but it's a real important step. You want to be able to make sure you can stand up straight on one leg on the ground before you try walking on a rope. The more time you spend on the ground balancing on one leg while keeping your head above the heel in straight line with your head and your feet in one straight line, and exploring the range of motion between your head and the bottom of your foot, moving your arms around to catch yourself and moving this leg around behind you as a tail, you'll be able to have more means of correcting yourself to stay on the line than if you just jump on the line immediately. Because if you try jumping on the line immediately, you're going to fall off quite a bit, and that's going to chip away at your confidence. If you build confidence from the ground up, literally, you'll have a much easier time commanding the line and staying on the line. And remember, no practice is complete unless you do the other side. So if you've been practicing on your right leg, now it's time to switch to the left leg and just practice getting used to moving around and exploring your motion. Move your hips to the left and to the right and see how far to the left and right you can go without losing your balance. Work on the left leg for a while, and then work on the right leg for a while. And then when you feel ready to get on the rope, don't get on the rope yet. Do not do that. What you want to do next is practice walking on some line that's directly on the ground. Whether it's a rope that's lying directly on the ground or a broom handle. I'm just trying to teach you new skills. I do not want anyone out there to injure themselves because of anything they watched here on my channel. So please, do these exercises at your own risk, and only do them if you feel comfortable doing them. And for some reason, if a mistake happens or an injury happens, please, please, please take responsibility for your own actions. Do not blame some guy on the internet that told you not to do this in the first place. I'm just trying to teach you new circus skills. I don't want anyone to get injured. So please, safety, safety, safety. But if you can find some sort of round straight line to walk on the ground, that's wonderful. That's a great way to get started. Now, the way I got started walking ropes was not on ropes themselves or on wires or on slack lines. It was on handrails at my local community college. I do not recommend that you do that. I do not recommend you start walking on handrails at your local community college or any other establishment for that matter, because that might offend the property owners and it might get you in trouble with the law. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm no specialist in matters like that. All I do know is that I know enough to teach you how to teach yourself how to walk on lines. So let's review the practice. First thing, get used to standing on the ground with one leg up and hands by their side. Keep your head above your heel. Move your body around. Explore it with one leg. And after you're done with that, switch to the other leg. Get used to the other leg. Move your body underneath it. Get used to your range of motion. See how wide to the left and right you can move your hips without losing your balance. Keep your head in line with your feet. And keep a bend in your knee. You want to be resilient. You want to let the line move underneath you. And then practice walking on something that's directly on the ground, like a broom handle or something, some sort of narrow beam or something that's on the ground that minimizes your risk. If you fall off, you will not hurt yourself as much as if you fell off of a rope that's a couple feet in the air or even higher than that for that matter. And then eventually, after you've practiced on the ground long enough, you've practiced walking on things that are on the ground long enough, whether it's a rope or a broom handle, once you spend enough time doing that and you're willing to take the risk for yourself and not blame some dude on the internet for practicing this stuff, then you can maybe attempt to go onto a handrail or onto a rope or onto a slack line or onto a wire. And if you do that, it's probably a good idea to get a staff or a friend's shoulder to stand on and help guide you so you can spend more time in the air, so to speak, so you can learn how the wire or the rope or the slack line functions underneath you, and you can stay on a lot easier. Now, something that really helped me psychologically with how the rope moves underneath me is realizing that there's a tolerance, meaning that there's only so many inches to the left and right that a rope is going to be able to move before it goes in the other direction. So if you can unlock what that tolerance is and get used to that range of motion, it becomes a lot easier to predict what might happen while you're on the rope. I hope that makes sense. I hope that I'm articulating that well enough for it to be understood. So near the end of the rigging point, like right here, the give is going to be very, very slight, maybe a couple inches at most. Once you get to the middle of the line, the motion between left and right, the tolerance is going to be up to a foot, maybe a foot and a half. It's going to shake around the most in the middle. However, it's easier to relax when you're in the middle and let the line droop and hang like a dead stone on the line and take control of the line by relaxing in it. So it's kind of weird. The middle is the most intimidating part when you're first walking a rope, but once you get used to it, it becomes one of the easier places to be. And then when you get to the edge of the rope or the end where the rigging points are, it gets a lot more difficult because you have to be a little bit more rigid to stay on. And it's strange, it's hard to articulate unless you're actually on the line. You'll notice a big difference if you're standing near a rigging point versus the center of the line versus the end of the rigging point. And especially walking up an incline like this. Now, I'm at the Michigan Renaissance Festival and I'm doing a little bit of practice before I do my show next weekend, maybe 1 to 3 times a day here at the Michigan Renaissance Festival. I just got done situating my cart, getting it ready for the festival. Now I'm about to walk this here world. So let's get on the line, shall we? Once again, it's probably best to have a staff or a friend to stand next to before you try getting on a line all by yourself. But once you understand how a line functions, it makes it a lot easier for you to get up and stand on the rope. I'm going to change camera angles and move you over there so you can see a lot better. Okay, I hope you can hear me. And you won't be able to see me get all the way up to the end of the tree here, but I'm going to make an attempt to go as far as I possibly can. Yep. Now, if you notice, I have my other leg working like a tail behind me while my other hands are there to stabilize me. You can see the rope moving in front of me quite a bit. That's the tolerance I'm talking about. And I'm close to the rigging point down here, making it a little more difficult for me to stay on the line. If I relax my knee, you'll notice I'll stop the rope from moving. And that's the key, is to be relaxed while you're on the line. Now, each step I take forward will give me a little bit more confidence knowing that the rope is going to not move as much. And remember to breathe. If you talk too much, you're not going to breathe properly. There we go. It's going to get a little easier with each step now. There we go. Now I'm at a very comfortable spot where the line's not going to shake as much because I'm closer to the center. It makes it a lot easier, once again, once you understand how the rope functions underneath you, to relax on the line, and you can control the line easier that way. It's going to swing a little bit more though in the middle, which may intimidate you at first, but once again, with practice, you'll understand how the line works. Walking at an incline is a little challenging, but that's what makes it fun. I like a challenge. I like to challenge myself further. But please, if you choose to challenge yourself, make sure you don't put your body at risk once again, or your life in danger. Start from the ground, work your way up. Don't hurt yourself, please. There we go. Gets a little easier and easier with each step. Now it's going to get a little bit more difficult as I get closer and closer to this tree branch you won't be able to see. Now I'm not going to go all the way up to the tree branch here today because I don't have the right shoes on. These might slip on the rope and I'm a little rusty. This is my second time walking up this since 2 years ago when I did the Renaissance Fest 2 years ago. So I need a little bit of practice here today, and tomorrow I'm going to come back out tomorrow and see whether I'm going to do the rope act here or on the stage over there. Stay tuned. Okay, now I'm getting closer to the tree. I'm going to work my way down backwards. Now sometimes people are intimidated walking backwards down a rope, and that's okay. It's the same thing as walking forward on a rope, except it's just backwards, and looks more impressive for some reason, but if anything, it gets easier and easier with each step towards the middle. So don't tell the audience that. They think that it's twice as hard walking down backwards, when in fact it's the same thing, you're just walking forward. Now I'm making a break in my rules where I tell you not to look down, you're supposed to look up. I'm looking down because I want to talk to the camera, and it's tricky. It's tricky to do that because it, once again, messes with your orientation on the line. If I'm staring at this camera and I see the rope moving back and forth, it seems as though it's shaking a lot more than it really is because of the distance between the ground and the rope. The further away the distance, the more it seems it's wavering back and forth. When it's only moving back and forth less than a foot, but in relevance to the ground, it looks like it's moving a lot more, which can really mess with you psychologically. All right, we're almost back down to the middle. Well, we're a little bit closer to the end than the middle now, I think. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good though about this. I was really worried about the festival this year with how this would all go down. This tree stump behind me is on its way out, kind of. It shakes around quite a bit. I might have to adapt and move the show on the stage, which isn't as exciting as walking up to a tree branch, but we'll see. I want to make sure that I'm safe and my audience is safe and everyone's safe and we have a good show. And there we have it. I'm gonna get off the line in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Now, you can count on me to do more rope walking tutorials in the near future. Today, I hate to say it like this, but I'm dealing with a lot of stuff in my personal life and I'm just trying to make everything work out here. I hope that you do start your rope walking experiences on the ground once again. And if you can do that, you can stay tuned for more rope walking, slackline, and wire walking tutorial videos in the future where I give a more in-depth tutorial. I use this video for feedback from people out there to tell me what else I can include in these tutorials to make it easier for you to learn how to do this. And that's it for the video here today, folks. Thanks for joining me out at the Michigan Renaissance Festival Fairgrounds. I can't wait for next weekend. It's going to be a wonderful fair season. Everyone's really amped up. We haven't had a festival in 2 years now. We missed out on last year. I got done painting my cart. That's what this mark is on my shirt. I'm wearing my cowboy hat because, hey, it was a sunny day and I got to protect my chrome dome here. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks very much again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. And before I let you go, please remember to never give up. Do your best. Stay true to you and who you are and what you stand for. And be amazing, folks. What I mean by be amazing is to be the best version of exactly who you are. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.